Good afternoon, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Allie-Ann McCord, and here's your Thursday edition of FSU weather. It is currently here 82 here in Tallahassee, cloudy skies. The graphic's actually blocking the sunset over Doak right now. Here's a look at our regional radar. You can see a lot of convection occurring down right now in the Gulf of Mexico. Flash flood warnings here in the Big Bend. Here's a closer look at the flash flood warnings here, mostly near Mariana, Sneads area, not affecting the Tallahassee region as much. Tonight's going to be 72 here in Tallahassee, partially cloudy skies. And then tomorrow it is going to be a nice 82 with scattered showers. We have a great show ahead. We're going to talk about the tropics. Are they quiet? The Palma volcano. And when is this rain going to end? We have a great show ahead for you.
Good afternoon, Tallahassee. I am student meteorologist Josh Green. Yes, we've had a rainy start to the day, but it's definitely cleared up since this morning. We've got partly cloudy skies right now. A nice look at Doak right behind us. It's currently 82 degrees, mostly cloudy with a brisk wind coming out of the south-southeast at 7 miles an hour. There's a lot of rain on the radar right now. You can see in Tallahassee we've got this strong band that's still making its way a bit to the south of us in the Gulf. You know, we've seen a lot of strong pop-up storms here. We've got some flash flood watches in effect right now, a little bit to the west of Tallahassee and up in central Georgia. These are two areas to keep an eye on. We've even seen some possible tornadic activity to our south as well because of these pop-up thunderstorms. Zooming in more towards the Tallahassee area, we've still got some pop-ups right now to our south. Luckily, they're not making their way north, so we should be clear for the rest of the night, but these showers are going to continue as we go into tomorrow. It's currently 82 degrees here in Tallahassee, a bit to our north in Thomasville. It's 81. Down south in Apalachicola, it is 79. And a bit to our east in Perry, it's 82. Now, for our dew points, it's very muggy outside, so these dew points are going to be a lot higher than normal. That's why it's very moist when you walk outside, especially in the mornings. There's a lot of dew on your car if you wake up early enough to see that. Right now, the dew point is 75 here in Tallahassee, which is very close to the current temperature. Down in Perry, it's 78. Up here in Thomasville, it is 75. So hopefully those muggy conditions will kind of exit our area as we get into the weekend. For the next 24 hours, we're going to see some pop-ups come through Tallahassee, and then that stationary front is going to make its way out of our area. That was that strong line of storms that you just saw right at the end there. But as we get into Friday afternoon and especially into the weekend, luckily, these showers are going to start to move out of our area, and we should start to see some sunshine eventually, especially into Saturday and Sunday. As for tomorrow, we're still going to see these rainy conditions. 9 a.m., we're going to have a low temperature of around 72 degrees. Rainy conditions will persist into 12 p.m., where our high is going to be around the low to mid-80s. And as we get into the afternoon, these showers should start to subside and get some partly cloudy skies, maybe even a nice sunset for your Friday evening. For the week ahead, we're still going to have these showers tomorrow morning into the early afternoon, but they should start to dissipate past that. Our high is going to be around 83. For our weekend, we're going to have clearer conditions with highs in the mid-80s, lows in the lower mid to upper 60s. Pretty nice campfire weather. You know, it's starting to look like fall a bit. We had that cold front about a couple weeks ago, kind of reminiscent of that. It's not a cold front that came through, but these are definitely cooler conditions than we've been seeing. As we make our way into Monday and the week ahead, we're going to have pretty partly cloudy conditions. We shouldn't see the same rain that we've been seeing over the past week or so. As for now, we're going to take a look at Florida with Evan.
That's right. Thank you, Josh. So right now, over the Florida peninsula right now, it's generally in the mid to upper 80s with the warm spot up in Tampa at 90 degrees. So quite a scorcher there today, not feeling fall-like at all out there right now. And as for your dew points, welcome to Florida, people. It is very muggy and humid out there. That oppressive humidity is definitely back with dew points in the mid to even upper 70s down in the south in Key West and Miami. As for satellite and radar, very rainy throughout the peninsula right now. We had some rain that's been persisting for days now up in the Panhandle, and still very rainy as we go working our way from the south. Showers moving across westward on the southern part of Florida. In the central part of Florida, same thing, very rainy, especially around the Orlando area right now. There's a heavy shower just north of there. And very cloudy generally as we go towards Jacksonville right now. And working our way westward, that flood warning is still in effect from the heavier showers and thunderstorms this morning. Some of those, as Josh said, brought some tornadic activity to the coastline. And as for the next 3 days, working our way throughout Florida, right now Miami, it's going to be hot tomorrow at 89, but that rain chance returns for the weekend, so not a great weekend for our friends in Miami. But temperatures will start to cool off just slightly as the weekend progresses. As for our friends in Tampa, rainy day tomorrow, as for much of the Florida peninsula, but temperatures will remain in the mid to upper 80s with the rain chances clearing out as the weekend goes on. And as for our friends in Orlando, high rain chances tomorrow, so definitely not a good day to be outdoors tomorrow, be at Disney World, not a place where I would want to be tomorrow. But temperatures remaining in the, again, mid to upper 80s with the storm chances dwindling by the time we get to Sunday. Same thing for Jacksonville, rainy day tomorrow, but temperatures are cooler as we are further north, with the weekend actually looking quite nice for this time of the year. Further west in Pensacola, temperatures are in the upper 80s for tomorrow and Saturday, cooling off by the time we get to Sunday. And as for tonight's lows, generally in the 60s and 70s are closer to the shoreline. And as for tomorrow's high temperatures, generally in the mid to upper 80s throughout the entire state of Florida. And now I'm going to pass things off to Robert with a look at the tropics.
Right, thank you, Evan. We do have nice weather here, and it really is free of tropical activity. We've had a quite active tropical season, but right now we have nothing going on in the North Atlantic Basin. We have made our way all the way down the list to Wanda. That's the only name we have left, but it might take us some time to actually get there because right now we really have nothing going on in the tropical basin. Remnants of Sam is the only storm that we're tracking right now. It is no longer tropical, fortunately enough. It does look like it's going to get a little bit close to Iceland up there, but it's just a cold core low right now, so it's not actually going to have any sort of tropical effects. Though it make my conditions a little bit breezy, you can see getting up to about 45 miles per hour by the time it actually makes it up towards Iceland. You can see it's track making a little bit of a loop-de-loop here as a low, but fortunately nothing tropical. Can't really survive as a tropical storm that high up at that high latitude. Remnants of Victor, this storm really made a run for hurricane status back here, but it kind of just fell apart. So now it's not really a thing anymore. It is still sitting there as a low, 30 miles per hour are those top wind speeds right there, but not making any sort of waves over here, literally or figuratively, and not really going to make its way over towards the U.S. and be a threat at all. The only thing that we're watching, I'm going to show you after this, after we show a quick look, you can really see this storm had some potential, but kind of just, a little bit like me, kind of ruined it here. You can see how the water vapor kind of just completely falls apart and actually doesn't do what it was supposed to do in the first place. So this storm actually entirely no longer a threat. Moving on to the area to watch, though, we do have 10%, actually upgraded to 20%, excuse me, 20 and 30 for this invest right here, but it's not actually really expected to do much. We have this system, has a little bit of convection going on, but overall, it doesn't have a lot going for it. We have a little bit of unfavorable conditions for development here, and as a whole, you can see right here, this system not really doing a whole lot. It's kind of got a little bit of a swirl going on there, but really not really going to do anything tropical or become a hurricane or anything like that at all. So now we're going to pass things off to the desk to have a look at volcanoes.
Thanks, Robert. Yes, so in the recent weeks, we've actually had an eruption. It happened in the Canary Islands, which is actually off the coast of like Central Africa, more towards our side of the Atlantic, and it's called the La Palma volcano.
There's been an ongoing lava situation on La Palma Island where it's originally started on September 19th, and lava is still flowing.
Yes, so what's been happening right now is that it originally erupted on the 19th, but we still have ongoing conditions right now. Lava is shooting into the air, and it's been streaming into rivers and really causing a problem for the people that live on the Canary Islands.
Not only is there a lot of lava, but there's also a lot of ash emissions into the atmosphere right now. Multiple earthquakes have continued to happen as the eruptions are occurring.
Right, and as you know, earthquakes that occur in that area could cause problems for even the U.S. because if it's a strong enough earthquake, that could cause a tsunami to come all the way across the Atlantic and possibly impact the portions of the eastern seaboard of the U.S.
But that's not the only impacts that these eruptions can have. It also affects our climate.
Yes, so volcanic gas leads to aerosol droplets and ash into the stratosphere, which not only affects humans in terms of air conditions, but the stratosphere is where all of our weather happens as well.
But it does affect global warming. So gases like sulfur dioxide actually causes global cooling, and then gases like carbon dioxide, greenhouse gases, promote global warming.
Right, so definitely something to keep an eye on as we go into the coming weeks to see how this acts. But for now, we're going to take a look more locally again with Evan.
That's right. Thanks, guys. Right now, over Doak Campbell Stadium, the sun's starting to set. Those clouds actually making it a little pretty out there. I thought the clouds would win out, but it looks like the sun is making a run back at it out for us tonight. Right now, 82 degrees, mostly cloudy, as that picture shows. Wind coming out of the south-southeast at 7 miles an hour. That's really helped to raise our dew points once again over the last few days, that southerly wind direction. Over the southeast right now, a lot of rain showers and a couple of flood warnings in northern Georgia and across the Panhandle just west of Tallahassee from those heavy showers and storms that we've been experiencing over the last few days, really. So it's been a lot of that, the occurring pattern over the last few days. Satellite and radar closer to home. We have a heavier shower off in the Gulf of Mexico right now, moving its way towards the coastline, but generally clearing out throughout the entire Panhandle, a change that we haven't really seen over the last few days, just because we had so much rainfall. It's really time for a change, don't you think? But look at that water vapor. We've got tons of it right now, helping contribute to that muggy feel out there. It's really kind of disgusting. Maybe you want to use some hand sanitizer even because it's so nasty out there. Yeah, like I said, these dew points are really up there. Look at Perry, 78. That's a very high dew point. Extremely muggy out there. Still not much of a difference in Tallahassee, 75 on our dew point. Still very muggy, very oppressive feeling. Not that high energy, cooler dew points that we had a couple weeks ago. And as for temperatures right now, generally in the lower 80s, even touching the upper 70s as we head down toward the coastline. We have some of that marine influence coming off the water, that wind coming off the water, helping to cool our temperatures there. As for the future radar, not much in the way of showers overnight, but the clouds will stay around and that'll help to keep our low temperatures relatively warm for this time of the year, maybe struggling to get into the 60s, which is something you don't really see that often this time of year. But those showers will return for tomorrow afternoon, especially working their way towards the east tomorrow. As for our dog weather forecast, there's our friend Max. He doesn't look happy. He certainly loves fall, as do I. But Max, unfortunately, will probably not be able to get a walk tomorrow, as it will be quite rainy throughout the day, especially in the morning hours tomorrow. So it's very unfortunate for Max, but that should be changing for the weekend. And there it is. The weekend is actually looking quite nice for Tallahassee. Highs in the mid-80s and lows touching the upper 60s. So that'll definitely feel nice compared to what we have been experiencing over the last few days. Now I'm going to pass things off to Jonathan.
Yeah, going ahead and taking a look at our nationals. That doesn't look like a national. We're going to go ahead and, that is not the national. We're going to find the national. There's the national. That's what I'm here for. Going back onto the screen, sorry about our little bit of technical difficulties going on. But while there may have been a national shortage of hand sanitizer last year, there is not a national shortage of warm, mild fall temperatures right now. Look at the warm air surging northward all the way up into Arctic Canada by the Hudson Bay. Bismarck and Minneapolis, you're at a balmy 70-ish degrees, which for this time of year, as we're heading into mid-October, that's not to be expected. And we have a really interesting setup that I'll touch on later over the country right now. It's going to bring some rather interesting, oh, the dew point data doesn't want to populate. The national graphics are not being my friend tonight, but you can still see those numbers on the screen. And dry air up in the north, but notice it's kind of moist up the entire eastern part of the country, and that's reflected in your upper level water vapor. And notice you'll see multiple little spinny features here. There's a spinny feature up near Quebec and Halifax in Canada, and that's going to be your upper high pressure. And then down in the continental United States, we have, you can see it right over St. Louis, there's a cutoff low. And this creates a pattern that we like to call a Rex block, which I'm not going to get into the terminology of that. But essentially what that means is that for the continental United States in the south, you're going to have repetitive flooding rains because moisture is surging in from the south. Then up in the north, you're going to have some more drier conditions, such as our weather challenge forecast for Boston right now. There's that cutoff low right there. And then also we're monitoring a low pressure off the coast of the Carolinas that Robert touched on it, may develop into something tropical, but right now our biggest concern in the national weather is going to be the flooding in Georgia and last night in Birmingham, Alabama. And you'll see that reflected in our active alerts. Flash flood watches up through the Appalachian Mountains, starting in the Blue Ridges in Georgia and up into the Asheville, North Carolina area. I know in my hometown, the Paint Rock River in eastern Madison County is flooded over, as well as the Elk River in Limestone County. There was my grandparents' yard, their landline telephone, they tried to call me today, but their landline telephone is underwater. We do not take flash flooding lightly. Satellite and radar, as I said, Boston, Massachusetts, the site of weather challenge for this upcoming weeks. Meteorology students across the nation are in for an easy precipitation forecast. That's a lie. The weather challenge city is not Boston. That was the forecast city for our current weather discussions class. My brain is scrambled because of the technical difficulties, apparently. But there it is, that low level system we were talking about. You'll really see that counterclockwise flow turning on radar north of St. Louis and up to Chicago. And that's going to bring some gustier winds and heavier rains to that area. Unfortunately for the desert Southwest, which earlier this week, there was actually some severe weather around the Phoenix area, which is very unusual. And you'll see that provided a little bit of drought relief, but unfortunately for the states of California, Nevada, Idaho, Utah, and Oregon, we are still in extreme to exceptional drought. Not much change from when I was producing the show last year. Going back to the southeast, we have those long, elongated periods of rain that are causing the flash flooding up in Georgia, but typical southeastern conditions with the scattered showers. Taking a look at your storm outlooks, we do have a generalized severe thunderstorm threat. However, the biggest threat is down here in Tallahassee, and that is because of wind shear. Maybe some spin-up tornadoes. A few of those happened up off the coast with special marine warnings, and then that's going to eventually push eastward with Jacksonville under a threat. Up in Minneapolis for day 3, there could be a few more storms. Looking at tonight's and tomorrow's forecast, though, generally mild conditions for fall. We're going to go ahead and pass things off to Robert to look at the southeastern region.
Right. Thank you, Jonathan, for reminding me about Weather Challenge. I am going to need to submit that after the end of this show. And also, I got really excited about Boston. Now I'm really sad. But our temperatures looking nice around the region for the southeast. It is going to be about usual for what we're expecting. 80s for most of us. We're going to see some 70s up in Atlanta and Charleston. It's really nice for you guys there. A little bit warmer as we get down to Florida into the 90s. Dew points are going to be a little bit, muggy, but that's to be expected for us in Florida and most of the southeast. But I can see you guys, Shreveport, Little Rock, getting away with those 59s and 54s. I'm sure you guys are enjoying that very much right now. Upper level water vapor, really sort of bringing in all this moisture coming towards us, moving off towards the east. So we do have some of this dry air coming in behind me, as you could say, almost sort of sanitizing the southeast from its humid and muggy dew points that it has right now. So we're really going to enjoy this dry air if it makes it to us. We do have a little bit more moist air behind it, and that's going to be something we're looking onto for the next week. But winds for most of the region are nice. They're going to be around 3 to 6 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more breezy and gusty as we get towards Orlando, Miami, and Key West. So around 10 to 11 for you guys. Satellite radar really showing this picture of a little bit more humid, a little more, you have a little more moisture to provide showers and thunderstorms for us here on the eastern side of the southeast. But as I showed you earlier, a little less moisture as we get towards Louisiana and Mississippi. You guys are staying dry tonight, and I'm sure you guys are very much enjoying that because there's been a lot of rain in this area over the last few days. But Atlanta, Georgia, you guys are not out of it yet. You guys have been under flash flood warnings over the past few days, and unfortunately, there's still some more rain on the way for you. As for severe weather, though, not really looking at for you guys in Georgia, but here in Tallahassee and southwest Georgia, we are looking at a marginal risk for us right now, mostly due to wind shear in the region. So again, not really a high severe risk, but there is still that potential, maybe a spin-up tornado, maybe a quick severe storm. So make sure if you are in this area, in the metro here in southwest Georgia, you have alerts turned on and you are watching storms just in case if something pops up. Again, not trying to scare anyone, just being prepared for the possibility. Tomorrow, we are looking at that marginal risk moving a little eastward towards Jacksonville. So we're watching that, and we will see that maybe progressing into the future, whether that will upgrade or not. But right now, keeping it as a marginal and maybe just a severe storm or two, not looking at a big outbreak or anything like that. And then by day 3, southeast is clear. We are watching for you guys up in the northern plains for a potential marginal risk for you, but right now, pretty clear for us. Future radar showing storms moving its way out of the region, but again, more rain on Georgia. So that's an area that doesn't need rain right now, and it's still getting it. But fortunately, by Saturday, that is mostly cleared out. So tomorrow, we're looking at very nice 80s for most of us. But now I'm going to pass things off to Josh.
Thanks, Robert. Yeah, so we have a special segment today put on by our Thursday team leader, Jessica Kirk. So it's actually going to be a city spotlight, and it just so happens to be my hometown, Wellington, Florida. So some current temperatures in the area right now, you can see Wellington right here sitting at an 86 degrees. Down here in Boca, they are at 86. Up in Gardens, they're at 85, and a bit to the west in Belglade, they're sitting at 85 degrees as well. So down in South Florida, their dew points are pretty similar to ours. In West Palm, 75 degrees right now. Down in Boca, they're at 75. My hometown of Wellington's at 74. Up here in Jupiter, they're also at 75. So they're also going to be seeing pretty muggy conditions, just like we are up here. But they're still getting that rainfall that we were getting earlier this morning. Here's a nice look at the satellite right now. Up in North County, Palm Beach County, lots of pop-up showers, stronger where those reds and dark reds are. Those are pretty strong thunderstorms. The green is a bit more lighter rain. That's what we see dominating most of the area, especially out west towards Belglade. You can see they're still getting some of those pop-up showers as well. A bit to the east, it's a lot clearer right now on the coast, down from Boca up to Palm Beach. Not a lot of rain on the coastline right now. Today's storm outlook, got some possible thunderstorms across the entire state, really. We're just going to see them coming through. We saw them earlier today in Tallahassee, but down here in South Florida, they haven't seen too much, just like we have. For tomorrow, same story. They're going to have some thunderstorms possibly as well. And for the next day after that, which would be Sunday, same deal. Just some pop-up showers throughout the day coming off the Atlantic. Over the next 24 hours, we're going to see some clearing, especially as you head into tomorrow and tomorrow morning. But as we get into the afternoon and evening hours, we're going to have the same story, pop-up showers, especially into Friday afternoon around 6 o'clock. The entire viewing area from Broward to Palm Beach could be seeing rain, so we got to watch out for that. As for tonight, the low is going to be 76 degrees. We got a 30% chance of thunderstorms, so not too likely until tomorrow afternoon. And over the next 3 days, we're going to have rain tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, but those chances will lessen as we get into Sunday and early next week. We're going to have highs in the upper 80s with lows in the low to mid 70s, so pretty nice down in Wellington right now, but we're going to take a look more locally right now with Allie-Ann.
Thank you for that update, hometown hero. So here's a nice look of our Doak Campbell Stadium camera. You can see the sunshine popping through those clouds. It is currently 82 degrees, mostly cloudy here in Tallahassee with winds around 7 miles per hour. Looking at our radar for the Big Bend, we see there's a lot of flash flood warnings more east of Tallahassee, in my hometown actually, of Sneads and Marianna. A lot of cloudy skies here right now and just pop-up showers coming up from the Gulf. Our dew points are extremely high. That's why it's so muggy outside right now. So we have 75 here in Tallahassee, 77 in Quincy, 77 in Appalachia. And then we're going to look at the temperature. So it's 82 here in Tallahassee, really high temperatures, but there's nothing we haven't been through. Just 79 here in Appalachia, 83 up in Valdosta right behind me. A dog walk forecast. Here's Jesse's best friend's dog, Max. I'm trying to let you see him right here. So tomorrow morning, I probably wouldn't take your dog for a walk. So it's 73 at 7 a.m., and then it's going to stay in the 70s throughout the day, but it's going to be a rainy day tomorrow. Our day planner for tomorrow, it's still ugly skies. It's going to be rainy for the next couple, or all tomorrow. So make sure to bring your umbrella to class. 72 in the morning. It's going to reach 80s in the later afternoon and kind of stay around there. Here's a look at the future radar. We have a lot of ugly rain right behind me. Oh, and then it moves. So we have a lot of this rain coming up from the Gulf and just having these pop-up showers throughout the day. So get ready for rain throughout the rest of the day. A lot of wind, or a lot of clouds too. So very overcast tomorrow, lots of that going on. For our weekend planner, you have, or we have rainy like tomorrow, like I've already said, and then we have a chance of having a nice weekend. Our highs are going to be in the 80s throughout the rest of the next 3 days, lows in the 70s, and then reaching the 60s on Saturday and Sunday. Looking at our week ahead, we have an ugly Friday. We're going to have our highs in the 80s throughout the rest of the week, and then cloudy, or we're going to have a nice week next week with sunny skies throughout all of next Monday through Thursday. Lows in the 70s and high 60s. Columbus Day looks like a pretty good day to go out. I don't know if you want to celebrate it, but it could be a good day. I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to the desk with our closing desk with Jonathan and Evan.
Yeah, speaking of which, Columbus Day or National Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever you choose to celebrate. Weather is looking to clear out finally, which I don't know about you, Evan, but I am so sick of the rain.
Yeah, I'm sick and tired of having to walk to class with soggy socks on all this week.
You know, I
Especially
think
more than
that
once.
if there is one thing in the world that is one of my biggest pet peeves, it is wet socks.
Yeah, it's so
Which
uncomfortable and so.
I'm in sandals right now. I prefer to wear sandals because I hate wet socks, and it has been a wet sock week.
Yeah, but fortunately, that should be changing for this weekend. It should be fairly nice this weekend. Mid 80s, lows in the upper 60s, so very comfortable, aside from the muggy dew points.
And, well, yeah, this is Florida. Those muggy dew points aren't necessarily going to go away. And I know our buddy Max in the pictures was enjoying his fall weather. We're not there yet, unfortunately. We're still going to have to deal with those muggy dew points as we go through the remainder of the week. But eventually, it looks like these dry conditions are here to stay. And I don't know how much more rain the ground could take, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we definitely don't need more rain, especially since we've had instances of flash flooding. Like you said, you knew somebody that had experienced that today. So
Yeah.
the southeast does not need more rain, and hopefully that should be, those drought conditions should persist as we go on.
Yeah, so quiet weather, quiet tropics as well right now. There's not really much going on. However, do want to mention that October is Caribbean hurricane season, so we'll have to watch for maybe some sneaky end-of-year storms as we get into the auxiliaries. But for now, go ahead and follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather.
And make sure you like us on Facebook at facebook.com/FSU Weather.
And you're probably watching us live right now on YouTube, where our username is the same, FSU Weather.
And if you want to send us in your pictures of those beautiful weather conditions, make sure you follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
And we're going to be running a new campaign where you can submit your pets, and your pet will be featured in the dog walk forecast. So go ahead and submit that. DM us on Instagram, text one of our team leaders. That's a great way to get involved on the show, even if you're not into meteorology.
Yeah, it should be a great way to get involved. And I definitely know a lot of people with dogs, so hopefully I can see some familiar faces up there for
Yep.
those local forecasts.
And the saying is, it's raining cats and dogs. So perhaps we'll use some kittens too, maybe in
Exactly,
the
why
forecast.
not?
But I'm a dog person. For now, I'm student meteorologist Jonathan Marcus.
I'm student meteorologist Evan O'Regan.
And this has been FSU Weather.
Have a good weekend.